What is up, guys? What's up? Listen, you know me. I got my candle. What else I got over here? Where's my spray? I have my stress reliever, eucalyptus. Come on, guys. I know I'm extra. I probably sprayed it. I got my shea butter. Shout out to Danny. He was on the live the other day. He makes go get your rum punch, rum island. He whips it up himself. His shea butter. It's late. We on Verdict Watch. Oh my god, I haven't been on in like 2 days, 3 days, and oh god, let's go. I don't really have a show for you. I'm just gonna talk. You know how we do. There it is. I was at the beach today. I had a nice day. What are you guys? This July 4th weekend coming up. What are you guys gonna do for the 4th? Are you gonna go see some fireworks? Okay, let's go get into the crazy. Before we get started, I gotta show you guys something. I know I put a post about Janice's wig. Look at this wig. And what Murad had me dying when he was saying, hold on, let me play him. Y'all follow him? He in London.
Which isn't enough for specific other charges. He was wearing rollerblades, doing the most. But when I tell you something about Janice's wig today, it was something that I have never seen before in my entire life. This was the monster of all wig. This was the boss level of when you're playing a game and you get to the boss level. That's what it was given today. This was the boss level of wigs. Something that I had not seen today at all. I genuinely feel like her and her three wigs should have testified for Diddy, but nobody testified for him. We have a lot of people here who work in cybersecurity, people who work in litigation, who have all expressed that Diddy messed up by not having any defense people. And I said, you know what? His mom could have bought the whole group. Thank you for the $10, £10. I really appreciate.
He said he talked about her wig, yo. He be dying, he be killing me. He said, "Where's KK? I can't find Christina Quorum." He was like, "KK's probably hiding in Janice's wig, in her wig." That was actually not bad. It's giving me a little Shaka Khan, early '70s, late '70s Shaka Khan, but it's kind of shaggy. It's kind of played out. I like those glasses. Those glasses probably could pay my mortgage. Those some nice glasses. I'm sure Janice, everything she wears is official. I wonder if she realizes she raised a demon. Who knows? You haven't seen her cry. She is stone cold. One of Diddy's childhood friends, let's call him Sean. Let's strip him from the diddler, from the puff, the P. Diddy. Let's just call him Sean or Mr. Combs, Sean. Sean's friend was saying that when he was little, he's a little goofy. They call him horseface because his teeth. He was like buck teeth with a long face. In his school, they used to call him horsey. And then he used to run and puff a lot, like be out of breath. So start calling him Huffy or Puffy. But before that, they used to doodle. Real story. I can't tell you who told me, but they used to doodle sketches of a horse on the wall, and they'd be like, "There goes Horsey, horse mouth, or Puffy," and he was very skinny. Let me see if I can find a picture. Hold on. Let me see if I could explain this story to you better. Hold on. Kids are mean. Growing up in the Bronx, listen, I'm from the Bronx. Kids could be mean. And they used to fight. Meet me in the background. Meet me in the playground at 3 o'clock. I'm gonna beat you up. Let me see. I'm trying to find a picture. Let me get. I guess this is the best picture. This one actually is cute. He don't look too bad. He don't look too bad in this picture. But actually, okay, let me share this picture. Hold on. Here, something like that. This call him Puff Horse Face. Oh, this is a better one. This might be a better one. Is this one here? Horse Face. This call him Horse Face. This is at Mount St. Michael's. But he used to go out when he was little, and the kids, would beat him up and steal his candy. And his mother, the wig lady, she's stone cold. She used to be like, you better go out there and get your candy. You better not come back here crying without your money. Don't let that. She was grooming him. Janice Combs was grooming her son to run the music business because that's what he wound up doing. So this little kid right here, who they used to call him Horseface, because he could never close his mouth and was a little buck tooth. he used to go and get his money. They used to get his money stole from. And the mother would slap him. This was according to his school friend. She would beat him up and be like, don't let anyone bully you or anything. Because I guess she became the bully, or she became tough. And she had a black son. She had to keep him from guns in the streets, and her husband got, unalive. So that's what she had to do. She had to do what she had to do. Did you guys hear that Diddy has going into court with a microphone in his ear? And he's been like listening to the jury or something. Okay, so let me just read it. It says recent reports mentioned that Diddy was spotted with an AirPod like earpiece in his ear in court. This was during proceedings related to his federal trial. While AirPods can be used for communication or audio, they are primarily designed for listening, not capturing audio like a microphone. In other instances in court, his comments to his lawyer were caught on a hot mic, suggesting that he was using a courtroom microphone system. This was separate from the personal earpiece he was observed with on another occasion. Therefore, it appears that Diddy may have used different types of audio devices in court, including a personal earpiece resembling AirPod, potentially courtroom microphones. Shady. That doesn't even surprise me. I'm not even surprised, right? What was the shenanigans today in court? We're on verdict watch, right? And we're like, okay, they're gonna. I didn't think a verdict was gonna come in today, right? Then all of a sudden you hear something. Juror number 25. Juror number 25. I actually thought it was the woman, because I did hear there was a woman of color, I think, on the jury that doesn't like Cassie. That does not like Cassie. So I think it was 8 men, 4 women. Is it 5 white men, 3 Spanish, 1 Asian, and the rest are black? I think there's 4 black people now. But they wrote the juror. They wrote in with on they wrote in on, hold on, let me pull it up. Insider Press. Juror number 5. Insider Press. How was your day, guys? What are you guys gonna do for the holidays? Anything? Anything great? I think we're gonna have a washout. It's gonna be raining down here. So I don't know. But don't let the rain stop you. Still party, still have fun. Life is short. Go and party. Don't let, Caribbean people, they don't let rain stop them. Now, if it's lightning, that's a different story. What happened to my ex? Okay. Inner City Press, sorry. He's done a great job covering the trial. Let me see. Let me share. It's Inner City Press. He started talking about juror number 25. The jury did have a question. What is coercion? Coercion. The jury did ask a question. What is coercion? Let's look it up. What is coercion? Maybe they were confused. What is coercion? Practice of persuading someone to do something by using force or threats. Our problem cannot be solved by any form of coercion, only by argument. Okay, they didn't know what that meant. Do you guys think that the jury wasn't sequestered on purpose because they knew Diddy couldn't help himself with with their shenanigans? Because usually, sometimes the alternates are sent home while the jury delivers, but they kept the alternates here because I think he was like probably thinking something was going to happen. Big three. Okay, here we go. Okay, can you guys see my screen? In Combs trial deliberations, juror 25 called out in a note. Now, jury charges published here in the Diddy docket. The Combs trial deliberation. Juror 25 called out in a note. Now, jury 25 is published here. On June 30th, the jury sent out a note about jury 25 thread and the extra about 25 on X for subscribers. Now, page 30 is a charge here. So juror 25 was saying he was having a hard time understanding the directions. Juror 25 is, I thought it was a female. I thought it was a black female who disliked Cassie, but I was wrong. Juror 25 in the Sean Diddy Combs trial. He is a 51-year-old man with a PhD in molecular biology and neuroscience. He's a very intelligent man. I think he's, yeah, 51. He is also a scientist and he lives in Manhattan with his domestic partner. News outlets reported that the jurors sent a note to the judge expressing concern that he cannot follow the judge's instruction. Oh my God. Let me stop for a minute. You know what? There's facts in which you could prove, and then there's emotion. So sometimes you got to take the emotion out of things and just go by the facts, right? Don't you think sometimes you have to do that, right? Like I said before with OJ, they were like all emotional. Like, we're tired of the police beating up Rodney King, so we're looking for some revenge here, and we're going to vote on this. And we don't understand what DNA is. And with Casey Anthony, I always talk about that. The jury 12, they couldn't put this 20-year-old Caucasian woman put away for life, even though they probably proved what she had did. But that's a lot. If you put someone, a 20-year-old, away for life, that's something you have to live with. Same with Trayvon Martin. They all felt like very emotional, like he deserved, Zimmerman needs to go, deserve to be put away. But you have to look at the law. You have to follow the law, not the emotion. So this guy's like, I'm all kind of confused. Was he sleeping? That's the problem. They were sleeping. Hello, the judge should have been like, wake up. Wake up. They were sleeping in court. They were nodding off. Were they bored? They were watching X-rated videos. Who falls asleep? I would have been like, where's the popcorn? No, let me stop. That's not funny. No, I take that back. But I'm just saying. Hold on, let me go back, guys. Inner City Press. All right. So here's it. This is simple. ABC 1 2 3. It's not that hard. This is the jury instructions right here. Let me make the screen. Can I make nope? Let me make the screen bigger. Let me try. Work with me, guys. Work with me. Oh no. Let me go back. I'm on X, previously Twitter, on Inner City Press. He's been covering it. It's been great. He cannot put everything out. He doesn't have the whole transcript, but he's doing the best he can. It says right here, if and only if you found the defendant guilty of one count, which of these types of racketeering acts do you unanimously find were involved in offense? Acts involving kidnapping. Not proved? Proved. Acts involving arson. Proved? Not proved. Acts involving robbery. Not proved? Proved. Acts involving witness tampering. Not proved? Proved. Acts involving forced labor. Proved? Not proved. This is a very simple thing. This is a very simple thing. It is not that hard. Do you guys, involving S trafficking? Not proved? Proved. Acts involving transportation for the person to pee. Not proved? Proved. Acts involving drug distribution. Not proved? Proved. And if and only if you found the defendant guilty of one count, did the pattern of racketeering activity involve S trafficking of Cassie Ventura? What's so hard in that? What is so hard in that? Let me see the comments. I gotta read these comments. Post your comment. No, I don't want to post a comment. I want to read. Did anyone make a comment? Repost? No. Did 38 comments. How do I read these 38? This shows you how much I go on Twitter. Guys, I ain't never on here. I think this is the first time I've ever been on. I'm old, guys. Here we go. Where are the comments? Okay, here's the comments. I'm gonna read these comments because I'm curious. Another juror note. Who's ticketing what? Every time I see this form, I feel like the predicate act should go before the final count verdict, and data not should say of two or more were proven marked guilty. I see about three of these stickening, and the rest were total toss up. This might take a while depending on the mind frame of the jury. I think by the time the jury enters the jury to deliberate, I think they already have their mind made up. I mean, with OJ, remember they that OJ case was 9 months. They came back in 4 hours, not guilty. 4 hours. Their minds were made. They were also sequestered. I think the feds intentionally decided not to sequester this jury. I think they were watching the jury. I think they knew Diddy and his goons couldn't stop their shenanigans. They already kicked one juror off for lying. Another juror had the vertigo, but they pulled the medical records and said, okay, it was just a one off. They could stay. And now this juror is like, I don't know what to do. You're doing your civic duty. You know what? Mark the lead defense attorney, Mark Agnafilio, I always say his name wrong. He was like, well, let him just figure it out. Because he thinks, oh, I'm going to get a hung jury. That'll be a win. He's like, let him just work it out. Work it out. He's not sure. Don't kick him out. Let him work it out. Work it out. Carrie Ann said, I have a question. I thought the transportation to engage in P charge was for the escorts, but it says one for Jane and one for Cassie. Under racketeering, the transportation to engage in P, is that one for the escorts? Thanks in advance. How many acts do they have to prove to find guilty for racketeering? Two. Two acts within the last 5 years, right? Or is it 10 years? He's 100% going to be found guilty. Oh, Chris TV says he's 100% going to be found guilty for some of these. I'm hoping the jury can see that. I wish this was televised. KS said another. You know what? Let me pause for a minute. Let me stop a pen. Let me say something. Let me really, 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 really. I gotta give. I gotta say this really quick before we move forward. I'm not a podcaster. I'm new to this. I'm nothing. I'm not a social media. No one know. I'm nothing. I sit back. I mind my business. I was in the hip hop business a couple of years ago for a few years back in the days, as you could see up on the wall. Um, but I'm not really into like podcasting. But I will say this: not only is this case very historic, doesn't this this means a lot for the entertainment businesses, especially hip hop. But also, I want to say something about the podcasters, the YouTubers who rushed and flew in and got up at 5 a.m., 3 a.m., were paying $200 for a homeless person, someone to hold their line, and pay for, listen, to fly to New York. I'm from New York, okay? To fly to New York, pay a hotel for a month, 2 months, and food and Uber and everything like that is not easy. They don't have a big budget like a TMZ or a CNN. But let me tell you, those podcasts, the street, what I call it street news, in my opinion, I feel like the podcasters and everyone with the street news was getting the information to us quicker, and they're not controlling the narrative or the media. You know how the media is like, well, you know how like you have CNN and you have Fox. When you go to CNN, it's going to be all Republican. I mean, all Democrat point of view. And if you see Fox, it's going to be a Republican. So with the podcasters, they're like, no, I was there. The jurors were sleeping. Diddy looked real skinny. He was crying. The family looked great. Da, 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 da. And they were coming back in real time that their viewership was higher than some of the media outlets like TMZ or Nancy Gray or whatever. And they needed the podcasters. And I think this is going to be a trend for the future. I think this is how it's going to go in the future. I don't think people are going to be going to mainstream media. And first of all, you can't trust mainstream media anymore. I mean, so I shout out to the podcasters, all of them. Torre, um, Tisa Tells, Make It Make Sense, Marad. There was 10 of them. From the Breakfast Club, London from the Blessed Breakfast Club. They all were out there. Who else? Who's the girl from The View? She was there. Sunny. Also, I also listened to it. I'm not gonna lie. Ticket TV. Even though he wasn't there in person, I don't know where he's streaming from, but he. I like his point of view. Okay, let's go back. Uh, KS said another jury note so early. Cass is crazy. Cass is crazy. She is crazy. Let me see. Guilty, guilty. Exclusive Queen says guilty, guilty, guilty. I make money chilling on my phone. Diddy gonna walk. Okay. Diddy gonna walk. What do those comments say? Diddy is gonna walk. Post your reply. I'm not gonna reply to that because I don't be on Twitter. Prove, prove, prove. That's funny. Prove, prove, prove. So, still, this guy feels like, but he's got a. This is interesting. So Dala Ayayella, okay, on Twitter, he's actually got a Tupac. They don't give a f about us. He has Tupac in his profile, but with the Diddy thing, he's saying prove, prove. So you don't think it was proven? Okay. Did the jury send another note? That was Scorpio. People are doubting Cassie and Jane's testimony, but what woman would get on the stand and lie about something so disgusting? Not many guilty. You can't lie on the stand because if you lie on the stand, they're gonna put you in jail. You're gonna purge yourself. You cannot lie on the stand. Even the Punisher was like, I don't understand. The Punisher was like, he had 3, 4 phones before the feds even came, and from 3, 4 phones ago, when they went to go meet with him and have an interview. I think he had 1 or 2 interviews. They were like, "We'll call you in a month and let you know if we need you to testify," and they eventually did. Everything they were asking him at the end of his interview or whatever, they proved to him they already knew. They had his texts from 3, 4, his text messages from like 3 cell phones prior. He was like, they would come and ask him questions that they already had the answers to because they pulled up their phones. So they wanted to see how if he was credible. And they told him just go up there and tell the truth. I don't know why he was like, I don't know why I'm here, man. I don't know why I'm here, man. I don't know what I did. I never saw coercion. I never saw fraud. I never saw him hit him. I was like, you took the money to do for 3 years. You took the money. Hello. But people are gonna say, and did he? But he didn't pay him. Cassie paid. The judge rigged the trial. No, I thought the judge was fair. Judge Arun, no, I think he was fair right down the middle. I don't think he waited. Even Diddy was like, Diddy's an idiot. He goes, "You're doing a good job, judge. You're doing a good job. I think you're doing a good job." Why would you tell the judge you think he's doing a good job? So that means you can't get appeal. If you try to say you're gonna get appeal, they're gonna be like, "Nah, you can't get appeal because Diddy say he's doing a good job." Is this the comments right here? Oh, that's how many people viewed the poll. I don't know. Like I tell you, I don't. I think the judge was fair. I don't think he ranked it. I don't think so. But I'm gonna tell you this. In my opinion, and I'm no lawyer, I'm no paralegal. I don't know. I think that the judge didn't want to waste the taxpayers' money. He didn't want to go to trial. Why would you go forward with it? He gonna hit him with the hammer. He gonna hammer him because remember he put in for that special sentence, and Brian Steele was like, "No, no, 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 no! I have to set more documents, more documents, and I'm gonna send you another case, another case." And the judge of room was like, "I don't need to see any more cases. My mind is up. We going for special sentences," which tells me that the judge he gonna hit Diddy with the hammer. He gonna give him the max. He gonna hit him with the hammer. Trust me, because they probably offered him maybe 7 years, and he was like, "Nah." And he said no to the 7 years. I'm gonna tell you why. He didn't want to part with his money. Let's cook, guys. Come on, I'm cooking. Hit that like button. Hit that like button. I'm trying to stir fry for you. I'm cooking. But what I'm saying is that Diddy was like, I'm not going to take, first of all, at 55, anything is like life. Would you want to spend 7 years in the penitentiary? No. But admission of guilt means they're going to take your money. Federal foreclosure, asset recovery. If he was using his yachts His airplane, his house. Jane testified. We moved the FO after Cassie's lawsuit came out. They moved the FOs from the hotel to his house. Oh, you was doing that in your house? They're taking his house. Well, Star Island, 2 Island, 1 Star Island, whatever. What if the judge tell Diddy fresh meat? What? What if the judge tell Diddy fresh meat? Freezer meat? I don't get. Anyway, guys, if y'all want to read with the Punisher, I did a live. Go back to my live about my review on Freezer Meat. I put a link. You can read the book. Thank me later. Hit my like button. Um, there's reasonable doubt all over this case. Guilty and proven on all counts. Yeah, this is hilarious. Oh God, true in it, right? Break it down. If only you find the defendant guilty on 1 count, which types of racketeering acts you and unanimously find were involved? Acts of kidnapping. She put yes. Acts of arson. Yes. Acts of involving robbery. Yes. Acts of involving witness tampering. Yes. Acts of involving forced labor. Yes. She broke it down. Acts of S trafficking. Yes. Acts of around the persons for. Oh, yes, yes, yes. Why would he take this to trial? He said it's the ego. He thought ego and money. Yes, 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 yes. Wow. I'm gonna steal this. Was Diddy a scumbag? Yes, Diddy was a weirdo, no lie on that. But all these people are willing adults that could have not got on flights and participate. I think it will be hung. Free that man. That's not an occult trial. Oculate trial. It's gonna be a mistrial. Frico no Rico. Who said that earlier? Laugh out loud, trying to give Diddy life in prison for being a rich jerk that likes nasty time and willing adults is insane. Free that man. See, it's like a 50-50. Interesting breakdown. Always good to see details. By the way, have you checked up a lot? They do great work on legal transparency and might have some insight on this case too. It looked like juror number 25 was the defense stricken during the court. Then what happened? Okay. Okay, let's see. Someone else, King of Kali, Fight the Power. Fight the Power. I like that logo. Fight the Power. Shout out to Chuck D. Kidnapping, not guilty. Well, okay, I'm going to say the kidnapping because on the defense was like Capricorn Clark, even though they held her for 5 days and she had to take a lie detector test, she was able to go home every night. And they dropped that from the predicate anyway. Okay, not guilty. Arson wasn't proven. Well, the arson, they found the cocktail bomb in Kid Cudi's Porsche, which was closer to his house, but they said the fingerprints came back as female. However, they did run the plates. There was a car, there was a black SUV outside. They ran the plates, and it was to Sean Combs Enterprise, but it doesn't say who was the driver of the car. Bribery, not guilty. How can you say not guilty? I disagree. Bribery, I disagree on that 100% because Eddie Garcia testified under oath so he wouldn't purge himself and did immunity. He said Diddy gave him, KK called his phone and they gave him $100,000 for the USB, for the tape, for the beating of the International Continental Hotel in Los Angeles. So I disagree. I think the bribery, they got them dead on rights on that. Witness tampering. Yeah, well, that's witness tampering, right? Witness tampering would be the video, confiscating the video. Can't do that. Mm. Forced labor. If you make a S worker lay up for 4 and 5 days, but she wasn't, I don't know, Cassie was on her payroll. A lot of them said they worked 100 hours, whatever. Rug distribution, guilty. Okay, said guilty right here. He said you can have a little amount, but as long as you're moving it around, that's the problem. But two of his assistants actually testified that two of his assistants testified that they were picking up rugs for him. As trafficking, not guilty. Transportation for purpose of P, not guilty. So you say only finding one. This guy said one. Diddy not guilty on all accounts according to this verdict sheet. They limited the trafficking to Jane and Cassidy. Testimony was clear. Two were consenting participants. Why does it say act involved instead of actual acts? You know what, guys? We didn't watch the videos. They watched the videos. We didn't watch the videos. So prosecutors charged only Diddy with racketeering conspiracy, but they say jurors have evidence that his co-conspirators included security Fahim Muhammad, D. Rock Butler, as well as the chief of staff. Kicking. Yeah, here they go. Here they go. This is the Enterprise, guys. Here goes the Enterprise. So if Diddy's found guilty, they're going to jail? Are they going to jail right here? Slavic dismissed Combs' lawyers, suggesting that there was no criminal enterprise because no one testified that they were part of the criminal enterprise. Members of the jury, use your common sense and look at evidence, whether they're receiving paycheck from lawful business or not. When you direct other people to get your transport rugs for your boss, you're committed a crime, Slavic said. When your boss asks you to buy and bring him rugs and you do it, you're agreeing to commit a crime. When you go with your boss to kidnap another employee and make her take you to someone's house, you're agreeing to commit a crime. And when you lock your boss's girlfriend in a hotel room after your boss stomped on her face and won't let her leave, you're agreeing to commit a crime. And what the evidence shows is that over and over the defendant and his inner circle agreed to commit crimes together. That's racketeering conspiracy. Here they go. So here's Fahim Muhammad, brother Fahim Muhammad. I think he's from Nation of Islam. He was also the head security for Michael Jackson. He purchased his son 40 acres in California. He definitely has some money. And he was the higher ups of the security. He supposedly allegedly covered an attempted murder in LA, Rapper G, according to Little Rod's lawsuit. Here's Christina Coram. She was getting $600,000 a year, and she lived in Star Island too. So I don't know if she's working with the feds, if she's not working with the feds. Did she get a deal? She obviously didn't go testify against Diddy, and doesn't have immunity unless she was working behind the scenes. But if Diddy gets found guilty, these three are definitely going to jail, amongst others. This is D Rock. Oh, D Rock's all in this case. D Rock did this. D Rock did that. He was the one helping with the kidnapping. He was the one driving the getaway car. Did he have the bang bang? This is the verdict from jurors are deliberating. There are 5 charges in all: racketeering conspiracy, 2 counts of transportations for individuals for P, 2 counts of as trafficking involved fraud, force, or coercion. The Mann Act. The Mann Act. So fraud is what Jane testified. Oh, I just want to be with you. Okay, we'll go to Turks and Caicos. We'll go down there together. We'll have some time. She gets down there, and there's male entertainers there for her. So that's fraud. That is fraud. So they can deliver. The jury can deliver up to 10 p.m. Court Friday, there's no court because it's 4th of July. Thursday, court is closed. But the judge said if you want to come in to deliver, you can. Listen, New York's cold all year. It's summertime. Those people want to be outside 4th of July, going to have fun. I think they're trying to get this verdict in. Today was like a hiccup or a bump. I don't know. Do you guys think, hey, hit that like button. Let me know in the comments. Do you think they should keep juror number 25? Or do you think that they should kick him off? He's 25-year-old male. He's 51. He has a Ph.D. in, he's a neuroscience, has a Ph.D. in biology. He's a scientist, lives in Manhattan with his domestic partner. News outlets report that the jury sent a note expressing concern that he cannot follow the judge's instructions. Do you think you should keep him? What do you think? Let me know in the comments. I want to pull up something really quick. Oh, let me see.
Or at Boca Rio Market. I promise.
Wait a second, guys. All right, I want to talk about the man. I wanted to talk about the Man Act, but I'm gonna have to do a live. My next live, I'm gonna bring that one up because it's too much. It's too much. I think they're using the Man Act to go after celebrities, but I'm gonna bring that up later. It's too much research to do right now. So here it is. Kidnapping. Okay, so they threw out the predicates, right? It was aiding and abetting. Did he aid and abet? Right here, aiding and abetting, aiding and abetting. It's not if he did it. It's did he do it? Did he do it? Right? Did he do? Not if. They took out aiding and abetting. They took out arson, and they took out kidnapping. They took out the kidnapping because remember, Capricorn Clark was going home every day. They took out the arson, the fingerprints on the bottle was female, and then when they tried to cross-examine it with the fire department, with the LAPD, with the police department, when someone broke into his house and opened up all his Christmas presents and locked the dog in the bathroom, the fingerprints were missing. I don't know if the LAPD was tampering with evidence. I don't know. Bribery, they got him dead to rights on that. Did he conspire, attempt to conspire for bribery of a witness? Eddie Garcia, he bribed them with $100,000, get rid of that Cassie tape. Yes, guilty. Obstruction of justice. That's getting rid of the tape. That's evidence. That's obstruction of justice, right? Witness tampering. Wasn't he calling Don from the prison? Wasn't he using the cellmate? He was selling canned tuna mackerel. Diddy's a gangster. He hasn't snitched. He didn't say anything. He didn't go out like Epstein. He didn't snitch. He's over there selling canned mackerel for $1 to get more credit on the phone to have his kids call three-way so he could, call the witnesses not to testify. That's witness tampering. Forced labor. I don't know. The workers were saying who was it? I think it was Capricorn Clark. Said she was overworked so many hours. She went to HR. They said he owed her $80,000. When she asked for the money, he ripped it up in her face as trafficking. The problem with that is they had 50 videos. They watched 3 or 4. We didn't see the videos that they saw, but some of those videos I heard they were unconscious. So that's a problem because how can you get consent if you're unconscious? Transportation. I see transportation all day long. Definitely guilty on transportation. I definitely see too. I definitely see bribery, witness tampering, transportation. I mean, they had all the flights from Miami to New York to Miami, from LA, New York, Miami. He had all the entertainers flying first class. They had Cassie and Coach. It was crazy, and they pulled it. He paid it. He paid it all with his American Express card. Why didn't he just get cash? He paid it on the Bad Boy Entertainment or Combs Global. You cannot use business money to pay for your crimes, to do criminal activity. Rug distribution. They kept saying it's not the amount. It's not the amount. It could be a little bit as long as you're moving it around. So I would say bribery, yes. Transportation, yes. Whatever the law with the distribution, I can hit them with 4. I can hit them with 4 right here out of these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I got 4 out of 8. Dead to rights. That's what I see. I don't know what you see, but that's what I see. Demon time. We are on demon time, everybody. This is really why I wanted to come up here to talk about. We were on the has been doing his shenanigans for not 1, not 2, but 3 decades. Do you think if he would have decided to settle down and maybe marry Kim Porter, that we wouldn't be at this situation today? Do you think that if they would have stopped him, if he would have took some accountability at City College when those 9 kids, one of them went to my high school, Played football at my high school. Shout out to Harry S. Truman. I was at City College. Had he took accountability then, we wouldn't be here. When he hit Stephen Stout on the head with a bottle and paid him $500,000, if he would have pressed charges, would we not be here today? When he beat up the coach in UCLA, Justin's coach, because he was mad he wouldn't let his son play football. I don't know if he paid him off. Would we not be here today? If he didn't go and pay off the witnesses when he did the bang bang and he shot up the club and made Shine sit down for 10 years for him and only paid him $50,000 when he was paying Cassie $500,000 to go shopping, will we be here today? If he didn't pay witnesses to say that he didn't walk into the club with the bang bang, even though J-Lo most likely allegedly carried it in her purse because women weren't getting checked at the club. Had he took accountability, had he not had Johnny Cochran and Wolf, him and they had high profile attorneys and left Shine with a public defender, will we not be here today? Had he been found guilty? Had he, when he choked Megan, Cassie's best friend, in Jamaica, and she settled for $30,000, and if she would have pressed charges, would we not be here today? When he hung Benga allegedly off the balcony, will we not be here today? Has she pressed charges? What about Capricorn Clark? Didn't he attack her? And Universal Music Group had to pay her $1 million settlement that she was pissed because they took taxes out of it. Has she pressed charges? Will we not be here today? Allegedly, when Roger Bonds testified that he broke Kim Porter's nose on the yacht in Europe, will we not be here today? Has she pressed charges and not wanted the money? Everybody all wants the money. If Diddy was a truck driver, would anyone be interested in him? If Diddy was a janitor, or just a regular guy. I'm not putting any blue collar workers down, but it's just all about the money at the end of the day. It's all about the Benjamins, and he knew that, and he took advantage, and everyone took and if they let him free, if you let this demon, if you 12 jurors don't find any discernment and you let this demon go, we're gonna be back here again. It's never gonna stop. It is not gonna stop. We are fighting spiritual warfare. We are fighting psychological warfare. Okay? If they come with a not guilty, they can't. It's impossible. It's impossible. Didn't someone testify or didn't they say Cassie was getting beat? She had brain damage? I believe it. I believe it. You would have to have some type of brain malfunction to do. I don't get it. Listen, I didn't grow up, I didn't witness my father, put hands on my mother. I didn't witness my mother put hands on my father. Did I fight growing up? Yeah, I'm from the Bronx. We fought, siblings fought. My mother hit me, and it was well deserved. Listen, I'm not even gonna lie. I deserved it, right? But we don't know. Sometimes I think with society, there's some kids that probably grew up seeing violence, or the father hit the mother, and I'm sure, or the mother hit the father, whatever. And I'm sure initially it was very shocking, but after a while, as that continues for days to weeks to months to years, it becomes normal. It's like, whatever, man. That's just what they do, right? It becomes normalized, and that's the problem. We got to stop normalizing all this dysfunction that we got going on out here. We got the president saying, grab him in the you know what. And that's okay. Some of the shenanigans we do and we get away with, if that was happening in another country. Look what happened with the basketball player who went overseas that had a little bit of weed in Russia. She was in Russia. She had the weed on her. They locked her up for like a year. We had to trade a war prisoner to get her out. We got to stop but we got to, it's just got too overboard. You got everyone out here singing, we got 99 problems, but if B ain't one, that's not cool. You got Cardi B out here with the kids singing WAP. What is going on? Some more demon time, demon time. Y'all be on everybody free Diddy, free Diddy, free Diddy. Y'all are on demon time. So it's okay for this guy to beat this girl in public, in a public place, and nobody do anything. And nobody, that hotel was responsible. That's why that hotel, that's why they paid her that $10 million. That's why she got $10 million, because she knew they were supposed to call the police. Listen, when Chris Brown, when Breezy did what he did, I don't know, maybe Rihanna hit her first. I'm not gonna say it's not justified, whatever. Riri walked away. Somebody, I don't know who called, I think it was a neighbor or someone called the precinct, and then it was the state that came with the charges. It wasn't even her. It wasn't even her. And she said it. I saw my mother get hit all the time, so I thought that was love. He saw his father slap up his mother. He thought that was, he still got anger. He got 2 cases right now in Europe. Chris Brown. He can't even leave. 2. He got a case, ran away for 3 years, came back. They caught him up. He's on a $7 million bail. Demon time. When is it ever going to stop? You can't use your company car to do a car bomb. I'm sorry. You can't use your American Express card, your corporate bad boy American Express card, to pay for rugs and entertainers and hotels for FOs and plane tickets. We have law and order, my friend. Law and order. And now it is judgment day because you've been breaking the law for not 1, not 2, but 3 decades, and you've been paying everybody off. KK, D-Rock, Fahim Muhammad, Ruben, Uncle Paulie. I forgot what that guy in the middle, his name. One of Diddy's bodyguard. He had to leave and go to. He's on Pierce Morgan. He left and went to Europe somewhere to live. I heard a lot of his workers are like leaving the country because a lot of them are getting threats. They're getting threats, and they're like, "We gotta leave." I think the reason why the government dropped the aiding and abetting, because they don't want him to try to do an appeal. You know, Diddy got 10 lawyers in there, and like 2 of them are just sitting there working on the appeal. 2 of them watch the jury, the other 2 do the appeal. Brian Steele just mistrial, mistrial, mistrial. That's all he do. And Mark Agnifilio, I mean, I don't know. You guys heard his closing arguments on the defense? He sat there and was like, Cassie liked to be a toilet in front of his kids was in there, and his daughters was like, they had to listen to all that. What a mess. This is a mess, guys. And his mother, Janice, this lady right here, she just looks stone cold with her own. She got her own RICO case. Nobody went on the stand. They had 34 witnesses, and nobody went on the stand for Diddy. Nobody, not even his mother, because she got her own RICO charge with Kurt Burrows. She owed him about $40 million plus 15% in the royalties for the last 30 years, because Diddy beat him up and took the stocks, took 25% of Bad Boy stocks, put it in Janice Combs' name. Judgment Day, my friends. Judgment Day. And even didn't he apologize? The Kid Cudi said he saw him years later and was like, "Oh, I'm sorry about all that." He even apologized. Y'all talking about y'all want a hung jury, mistrial. It don't matter. Harvey Weinstein, he's not black. He had more money than Diddy. He had 3 mistrials. And he's still sitting in prison. Mistrial don't mean nothing. They're just going to do it all over again. They're going to let him just sit there. And if they want, they can hit him with state crimes in California or New York, or they could bring in victim number 5. Y'all keep forgetting about victim number 5. Victim number 5 is still out there. The judge was like, leave victim number 5 out. I know why, but I'm not going to say it on here because I gotta be with the community guidelines. Guys, ask me some questions in the comments. Y'all have questions in the comments? know he did the bribery too because he told Eddie Garcia to sign the NDA, and the NDA was signed from Combs Global International, whatever. This idiot thought NDAs was going to save him. That's really what he thought. Guys, demon time. Y'all are out there talking about free Diddy with the demon nonsense, knowing he want to hustle rugs and do illegal stuff. And you know the S worker, Jonathan Odie, said he had the liquid cocaine in the Ciroc bottles, allegedly, on his jet, moving it around. They rap about all of this. Y'all forgot Jigga Man and everyone was on Epstein Island with R. Kelly down there, making their videos. Look up Big Pimpin'. Y'all don't remember Big Pimpin'? That was right there on Epstein Island. This is just so, it's like, I don't know. I don't know. When y'all think the jury verdict's going to come in? I'll say it's going to come in by Wednesday night. I'll try to jump back on tomorrow. I don't know what more y'all want me to say. I already said what I need to say. But y'all, anybody out here is shooting free Diddy, make freak offs great again. Y'all are crazy. Y'all are crazy. Y'all like seeing women get beat. You like all that. You like, crime. You like being threatened with bang bangs. And this man going around drugging people. People out here got kids, yo. People out here got kids. Daughters. Teenagers. Who may want to be in the entertainment business. Who may want to sing, dance, and rap. And they got to deal with this shenanigans. And he ain't the only, you better, don't think he ain't the only one. But I'm going to say this, he a OG because he ain't snitch. He took it, he that's one thing. Everything he know on a lot of people in this business, and he got tapes on them and all this stuff, he ain't saying nothing. And don't you think Diddy gonna get no presidential pardon? That ain't gonna happen because I already told you. Tony Busby's got like 20 civil cases against him and 2 on his kids. And he's trying to get that money, and he donated not once but twice to Trump's presidential campaign. The first time and the second time, he donated about $500,000. So that part ain't gonna happen right now. Maybe on the way out. It's a lot of politics behind this, guys. It's a lot of politics, yo. On my next live, I'm gonna get into the politics behind this, and I'm gonna really try to break down the Mann Act, because I think they used that Mann Act to go after a little entertainments and a lot of entertainers. Is Diddy guilty? Yes, but he had a lot of people willing to take the money. He had a lot of people willing to sell their soul. That girl KK, she's getting $600,000 a year. Everybody took a check. Everybody got paid off, and that's what I think that's what he's messing with. Suge Knight said it. He said he ain't worried. He's either gonna get a presidential pardon, or he's gonna influence a juror, or he's not worried. But listen, everybody's gonna answer to the wrath of God, right? Everybody at the end of the day, you got to answer to the wrath of God. And that's that. So before I get out of here, I'm going to say this quick prayer. Gracious and almighty God, we come for you today with humble hearts, lifting up the 12 men and women called to serve as jurors. You have chosen them for a great responsibility to weigh the facts, seek the truth, and deliver justice with courage, compassion, and integrity, Lord. In this scarce duty, grant each juror wisdom beyond their own understanding, clear their minds of confusion, distraction, or fear. Replace uncertainty with discernment. Let no bias, outside influence, or emotional burden clear their judgment. Help them listen carefully, speak the truth, and deliver it with humility and respect for one another. We ask that you bless their minds with clarity, their hearts with compassion, and their spirits with peace. Where there is tension, bring calm. Where there is discernment, bring unity. Where there is doubt, bring conviction rooted in fairness and truth. Surround them, Lord, with your divine protection. Guard them and their families from stress, anxiety, harm during this time. Let them feel your presence beside them in the jury box, in deliberation room, and in each decision they make. We pray for strength to carry the emotional weight of the case before them and for courage to stand firm in justice even when the path is hard. May their service not only reflect the laws of this land, but also the moral compass you have placed within every human heart. Finally, Father, we pray that you overcome of this case brings peace, accountability, and healing for the victims, for the accused, and for all who have been touched by proceedings. Let justice roll down like waters and righteousness like the mighty stream. Yep. And that is that. It's history, guys. This is history. History. This is going to change a lot of things. This is going to change a lot of things. This is history. I think his time is up. I think his time been up. But they let it rock. They let it rock. So there was a juror, right? I don't know if she was a black female, but I think some of the juror, like, in the prayer when I say, don't be emotional, don't use emotions. But I do think, Diddy sold us on black excellence, black love, black family. We've seen him with, Kim Porter and their beautiful children, happy on the outside, it's just an image. And some people have a hard time seeing um, Sean Combs with a non-black woman, right? They may see her as a homewrecker or Latino, Filipino, Mexican, that this was he said his soulmate. And, they in the juror box, instead of facing the facts or whatever is proven, they're going more off of emotion because they wanted the fairy tale, right? This black man with this power couple with this beautiful black woman, he's a billionaire and showing what excellence looks like. And now they have to decide on his future, and a lot of people don't like Cassie because of that, so that's just what I heard. May she rest in peace. She was beautiful.